Many moons and suns had passed since that first time up on the balcony. Each moon brought more knowledge but moved me further from him. It didn't take too long to discover what he had been hiding, what he had never told me at the beginning. It seemed that as I stumbled upon these secrets, he made them more opaque. The closer I got, the harder it seemed to find more. This was just my imagination, though. He had no idea of the long nights I spent reading as he slept. Once I found the lunar runes, the hidden became uncloaked and unveiled itself, slowly at first, carefully, selectively, as if it were being controlled by something, someone, guiding me to the truth. Then, when the mysteries of the sacred shapes revealed themselves, the secrets cascaded down upon me, quenching my long-held thirst, raining on me like the first torrential storm after a long, dry summer drought. Now, I waited down below until I could hear him moving about in the watching room above before I took out my knife. I had covered it with the lunar runes, as I had learned to do. I had practiced this many times at night, lying awake. I had perfected it in my mind, and in the meadows, rehearsing my grip with imagined figures, as well as hands-on practice with the pigs in the forest. Soon, the final obstacle would be removed, and the secrets would be mine alone. His meticulous nature and obsession with ritual would be his undoing. The day of every full moon was always the same, down to the minute. And what irony, his favourite day of the month would be his last. Moon magic would be overcome on Moon Day, making way for what should always have been. The secret hidden away in old books, like a skeleton hiding in a grave, whispering to be found again. Only those that could hear chose not to. They wouldn't dare to out of fear. And those that had the courage were unaware of his existence. I could hear him coming back down the stairs. As his long, willowy frame descended and came into view, the affection that I once carried for him pulsated within me. For a brief moment it stirred before I crushed it with the knowledge of the secrets that he had hidden purposefully for all these years. It was pushed down and replaced by something else. Excitement. The time was here. It was my time now. The time for a new magic. No more hidden secrets. No more deceit and camouflage. The gatekeeper will be God, and soon the dam will be breached. The secrets will flow like water flooding into an empty lake that has been selfishly kept parched. Let's go then, already. He sounded particularly cheerful, as he always did on Moon Day. He looked at me with the kindness that I remember in the beginning. The feeling rose again within me. As I looked into his eyes, I remembered the love, the patience, the wisdom he had shown me. All wasted. I pushed it back down, ignoring the guilt, preferring to focus on the knife I had prepared, waiting, ready. Yes, all packed. I have everything we need in the bags in the hall. All set, I replied. I had to go through with the pretense of preparing for the day. He was too smart and would have noticed if I didn't. Well then, time to go. Cannot be late, not today, not on Moon Day. People will be waiting. As he said this, he looked at me and there was excitement in his eyes too. Moon Day. The day of the full moon, the most important day of the month, and today was the most important moon day of the year. Every month he went to the midnight forest, to the standing stones that had been there for generations, long before the forest, it is said. The stones were arranged in a 5-pointed star, the pentagon. This was one of the sacred shapes, the one all around us, if you had been taught to see it. The pattern of the sun star in the sky every 5 years. The sun star usually at its brightest at sunrise and sunset, traced out the sacred pentagon in the sky. And once a year, the sun star rose and set in synchronous harmony with the movements of the full moon today. Finding out the power of the sacred shapes was the start of the end, the key that unlocked the secrets that were hidden, the secrets he kept hidden. As he walked past me towards the door to the stairs leading down to the hall, I grasped the hilt of my knife with my left hand. I followed him, gradually getting closer. He opened the door and started to walk down the 22 steps to the hall. I followed patiently, waiting, fighting the guilt while carefully raising my knife and preparing my other arm to grab him round the neck, as I had practiced many times before. As I reached out my right arm, the knife plunged in and out of the rib cage. I felt the warm liquid ooze from the gaping hole it had left. He turned his head to face mine, my eyes centered on his piercing gaze, the kindness gone, replaced by something else. For a moment it looked like pain, but quickly turning into something else altogether. The excitement I'd seen before was back in his eyes, the corners of his lips upturned, breaking into a smile even. The kindness usurped by a look of malice. Yes, malice and something else, something less obvious. The cry sounded so unfamiliar, so unexpected, that it took a few moments to register that it was mine. The sharp pain proliferated to all parts of my body, making me scream in agony. I fell, still grasping the knife that wasn't given a chance to find its mark. I felt my knife drop as my head hit the stairs, my body tumbling down. He was standing over me, 1 or 2 steps above, looking down, his eyes burning into mine. He still held the knife that he had thrust into my ribcage. To misunderstand one is to misunderstand both. You had enough hunger to misunderstand this, and not enough patience to fulfill your desires. He walked down and grabbed my knife, holding it up to examine the lunar runes closely. Yes, good. This will do. It will suffice. To work with a secret magic is dangerous. You become exposed to its powers, and it is best done from afar. It's too much risk for me to reveal myself to its power directly, and this, at least, you could do. Many moons I have waited, and now we are here. Moon Day. The day these runes will be at their most potent. I kept my eyes fixed on him, the pain growing duller, a feeling of numbness replacing it. I was drifting away. Yes, this will do nicely. He stepped over my ever-increasingly lifeless body and moved down the stairs towards the hall. He opened the door, picked up the bags, and stepped outside. The light from the door seared into my eyes as he loaded the bags onto his cart. He turned, looked one last time, expressionless, and closed the door. The pain had now subsided altogether. I could feel my eyes closing, slowly closing, reaching out for sleep, reaching out for death.